And then our author exhibits, we have over 100 authors that will be exhibiting.
Okay. Sounds like you got a pretty diverse group there. You're not just talking about urban fiction. I mean, we're talking self-improvement, we're talking economics, we're talking authors writing about politics and it sounds, what about science fiction?
We generally have a science fiction category. We didn't have any science fiction authors sign up this year. The categories that we have that are somewhat related to that are fantasy. I think we have 5 fantasy authors this year
That's
that
big
are
with the young
writing,
people.
right, for the young people.
Right.
And then we have a lot of children's authors coming. We have about 10 authors that are dealing with family relationships or just dating and relationships.
Hmm.
So we have a lot in that. We have one history author that's going to be there, and then we have some mystery writers as well. So it's sort of like going to a bookstore. We have poetry writers. So it's kind of like going to a bookstore in the different categories. There's, I think, normally we have 19 categories that people can sign up for, and I think this year, 16 of those categories are filled. And the added ones are biography, and then we have erotica authors as well for people who like that. So we are, it's a very diverse group of people who've written on all different types of subjects, and a lot of people are not aware that there are as many African American authors as there are, but there are thousands, in the United States, and we bring together roughly 100 of them every year.
Okay. Now, given the fact that except for the Shrine of the Black Madonna bookstores and a few of the other known bookstores in some of the major cities, in the black, as far as African American writers, their venues have pretty much narrowed quite significantly over the years with the closing of so many smaller bookshops. Is that right?
Well, there's definitely a lack of a dwindling number of African American bookstores that are remaining open, but there are dwindling numbers of independent bookstores in general. It's probably more pronounced in the African American community just because we started off with a lot smaller number. But one thing that the festival does, it helps fill the void so that authors can still meet the public with their books. Because it's interesting that simultaneous with the closing of a lot of stores, so many more people are writing books.
Right.
So there used to be just a few black authors, 15 years ago. Now there are thousands because being able to write and publish a book is so much more available to people through print on demand, and even with the e-books, not even having to have a physical book. But I still would encourage people to have a physical book, even if they do an e-book as well, because people still like to see a book, even if they don't buy the book itself. It makes it more real if you have an actual book. So nowadays, it really is fairly inexpensive to publish a book. Probably your higher costs are going to be in terms of getting it edited and getting a cover done that's attractive. And I don't think any book should ever be published that's not edited. Some people try to do that, and it with disastrous results. But your initial investment, besides writing the book, has to be in the editing and the cover design. And then, but actually getting them printed, the cost, because you don't have to print 5,000 or 10,000 books anymore, you can do a small print run of 50 books or less than that, and just to get your book out there. And then as you sell books, you can continue to print more. Okay.
Now, do you find the new authors using the technology and actually publishing Kindle versions of their books?
Definitely. And people are now able to take more of their marketing efforts into their own hands with Facebook and Twitter to let people know about their books and to build their following. There still is a need to use conventional means because people who read books tend to find out about them from other people who read books,
right,
or through advertising.
Right.
And a lot of times people really do select a book based on hearing about it from someone else. There's a large number of African American book clubs today that help support the book sales, and that's how a lot of the word of mouth is spread. So we have a lot of those book clubs at our event. Is well attended by the book clubs, but there's a variety of ways to get the word out now about your book, and the technology has made it a lot easier to let people know about it. It also, though, is a lot more competitive than it used to be because there's so many people writing books. So you really have to have something to attract people to your book that makes it different from everything else that's out there. Or you need to have people talking about your book, writing reviews, and hopefully you got a good rating with your book, and that way that will let other people know who read books what's good out there.